In this video, I'm going to show you a simple DIY and inexpensive way of staining or ebonizing your wood. I'm going to go through some different results, show you how it looks on different woods. This is how it looks on oak. Spoiler. But I got a few different types of wood. I'm going to show you how, a couple different techniques on how to do it, and the process involved and what to expect. Hello, welcome to the Fallen Tree. Today we're going to be working on a stain that I've read about for wood. It's a DIY project. It involves vinegar, steel wool, and that's what's in the mixture. I've read about it. I want to try it out on some different woods. I'm going to try it out on oak, poplar, maybe some yellow pine, just a 2x4 or something. We're going to see what it looks like. We're going to do a couple variations. Some people say if you add a tea mixture to the wood first, it enhances the tannins. So we're going to do it on those three woods. We're going to do a piece with the black tea mixture, some without. We're going to see how long it takes to make this mixture. I've read it to take days, sometimes a little bit more. So let's get started. So we're using just plain white vinegar from the grocery store, nothing special. And we're using number 000 steel wool to make this mixture. So we're going to take one piece of steel wool for each quart. And what I've kind of read is kind of break it up a little bit first. I think that kind of spreads out the fibers and creates a reaction. Then it kind of rusts. We'll let that sit for a few days until it darkens. And then we'll filter it. So we'll do that with both of these jars. Now, I've read a couple different things about whether to cap it, whether not to cap it. Seems like it produces some sort of gas. So instead of putting it on a hard lid, I'm going to do something a little bit different so it still stays covered, yet it can still expand. So I'm going to fill that up about 3/4. Right now it's clear, pretty clear. It's almost got a bluish tint to it if you look at it. Might just be the color of the steel wool behind it. So I'm just going to take a rubber glove, stick it over it, so I don't get any sawdust or anything in between. We'll see if it makes any gases. If it does, this glove will blow up. So here's what we're looking at. Just clear with steel wool. This is day 1. We'll come back, check it maybe day 2, day 3, day 4, and see when the color starts to change and how long we needed to make it up beforehand if we like the results. Let's take a look in a couple days. So after the first day, it's been about 24 hours. There doesn't seem to be any change in color yet. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the glove off the one side and see if oxygen getting to it makes it darken faster or more. So we'll come back out tomorrow and see if there's any change in color. I've heard it takes several days. Okay, so day 2, what does it look like? Still doesn't look like there's any change in color. This is the one I kind of let air get to. Looks like we're getting a little bit of rust up on the top. Maybe it will start changing color soon. This one doesn't look like it produces any gases. We do got some bubbles in there, I'm noticing. I don't know if those are coming out on camera, but there are some bubbles. So, 2 days, no change yet. We'll give it another couple days and keep checking on it. See when it changes color so we can start using it. Okay, we're on day 3. I still do not see a change in the color of either one of these. Day 4 and still no change. I'm going to try something else that I've seen. We're going to take it out for a couple hours and see if it will start the rust outside with the oxygen first. Okay, so we're going to give this a couple hours and see if it starts to darken up. I don't know if it had some oil on it or what's going on, but after 4 days, it should be starting to turn a little bit, I would think. Okay, so a couple hours ago, I took out the steel wool. It was not rusted at all. Now it's starting to rust. The pieces of wood that I took it out with actually have like a bluish, brown, purplish looking tint to it. This was oak. Just from the vinegar without it rusting. So we're going to stick this back in here. As you can see, we're still crystal clear on the vinegar. So I'm going to stick that back in there and we'll check it out again tomorrow. Maybe this will start the rusting. I'm going to leave it uncovered from this point on. It seems like the oxygen has got to get to it. And we'll see how this all works out. I can't wait to see the final results. And there you can see it's instantly changing color now. So by taking it out for a few hours, I think it's been out for about 2-3 hours now, that started the chemical reaction that we were looking for. Now we'll give it a couple days and let it darken. Okay, we're on day 9. This is still pretty clear. Looks like we got a little bit of sediment at the bottom. There's our steel wool. Actually, it looks like steel wool might have gotten a little bit smaller. All right, here's what it looks like up close. I thought there was going to be more rusting and stuff, but it doesn't seem to be. But I will say, on our day 4 video, I put the steel wool in there with these pieces of oak. And even though it was kind of clear and everything, they've turned it nice shade of black, kind of a brownish black. So we're going to continue with this experiment and how this stain works. We're going to get it filtered out, and then I've got 4 different types of wood that we're going to try a couple different variations of. I got a poplar, a spalded maple, some pine, and a piece of oak. And we're going to stain it, 2 different variations, see what kind of colors they come out with. Alright, it's time for the filtering process. Real simple. Coffee filter, funnel, and we'll pour it through. And this is what it looked like after going through the filtering process. And here's a look at the sediment that you'll get. So now I'm going to try it out on a couple different species of wood. I've got a piece of pine, a piece of poplar, spalded maple, and red oak, all of which I've dried in my mini kiln. The first thing I'm going to do is on the bottom of each one of these boards is I'm going to use just regular black tea, making a simple black tea solution out of water and tea bags. I'm going to apply this and let it dry on one side, which is supposed to create more tannins in the wood and create a darker appearance. So let's see how this works in comparison to no tea. So we've let the tea solution dry. Now we're going to apply our vinegar steel wool solution to these boards. See how long it takes, what kind of colors we can expect with these different types of wood. Does the tea help produce a darker color or different shade? So the bottom again will have the tea solution. The top side of it here that I'm applying now has nothing but the vinegar and steel wool solution. So as you can see here, just 1 minute later, you're starting to see a reaction. Seems to be more so with the oak and working down lightly to the pine. 10 minutes later, the colors have changed yet again. They're getting a little bit darker. And this is what it looks like the next day. It didn't seem to affect the pine so much, just gave it a little bit of tint. The poplar a little bit more, and the spalded maple has got a pretty cool stain to it. A little bit different. Where the oak, it's definitely ebonized it. And that's the look I was going for with this red oak. I've got some flooring, about 200 square foot of it, that I wanted to ebonize the bottom of it so you can see it through the floor joists. And just with these 2 simple ingredients, white vinegar and steel wool, I've got less than $5 into that whole project. So here's a before on my flooring. This is the bottom side, some tongue and groove that I've made. And this is the finished product. I'm going to be installing it out of my cabin. Once I get that project done, I'll put a link in the description of this video if you'd like to see what the finished product look like. So, if you like this video, click subscribe, like it, share it with your friends, and check out more of my videos at Fallen Tree 124. Till next time, my friends.